Hello, everybody. I want to thank you for joining us today for this webinar. We will keep it quick and meaningful for you all. We really appreciate, again, that you all took the time to join us today. We'll be going over some common inventory problems that can be faced in businesses and how inventory management systems can fix that. We'll also be going over Softvision Suite, our tool, and some of its capabilities, so you can see how businesses can be improved by good inventory management. So let's get started. First of all, I want to introduce Jeff Dillon and Todd Lindeman, our two speakers today. Jeff is one of our panelists, as I said. He's our sales manager at Softvision Suite. We also have Todd Lindeman, who will be talking about our tool specifically and its capabilities. He's a VP of Customer Success. And I'm Clay Griffith. I'm the moderator. I'll be taking questions and teeing those up for answers at the end of this webinar. During the webinar at any time, please feel free to fill in a question in the Q&A section. If you hover the screen and click Q&A, you can type in questions and I'll capture those to be covered at the very end. So let's get started.
What is an inventory problem? In its most basic form, there is an inventory problem when you have too much or too little. Sometimes those swings are significant towards one end or the other, but at all times we have too much of some and too little of others. What are the problem causers of inventory issues? Volatile forecasts can certainly be one of them. What was the pre-season, pre-event, pre-sales era forecast methodology? And is it still intact or did it fall apart for some reason? What are our purchasing methodologies? I have a plan, I have a forecast. How do I purchase to that plan or to that forecast? Do I buy a lot of the inventory, 120% of my plan or 50% of my plan, and wait and see what happens? All those methodologies can be a causer of these problems. We often reflect on market conditions as a causer. Consumer confidence in volatile times. An election year, some will believe, may soften demand. A product of yours may be on a talk show and you did not plan for it or expect it. There may be a problem in the industry with the supply of cotton. So those kinds of market conditions can cause inventory problems as well. Somewhat related to your purchasing methodologies are minimum order quantities or MOQs. We see a lot of our customers face significant issues with MOQs and question how to manage that. Is the item that's being required to purchase over the plan a viable item? And if I purchase over plan, what does that mean to my business? The quality of your assortment. Is it on brand? Is it too SKU intensive? Is it represented well enough to keep the interest of your customer? The assortment plan, its quality can affect your inventory position. So with these causers in mind, what might a result be? Problem number one, too much inventory. When we carry too much inventory, we have reduced inventory turns. We tie up cash, tie up space as a result of those reduced turns. Inventory is almost always a trader's number one cash expense. Minor fine-tuning of your inventory turns will keep much more cash in the bank. Distribution center space. Many of our customers, especially seasonal customers, have significant challenges in managing distribution center space. Having to rent extra space to carry excess inventory is never a desirable condition. When we have excess, we're often forced to mark down the price of the merchandise, which reduces our margin, which again goes against the goals of the merchandising staff, accounting, the colleagues in your business that need to see margin added to the bottom line. As we assess excess, we are always looking at the quality of that excess. That drives many of our decisions. If it's very desirable in-demand merchandise that you have too much of, a less short-term markdown will usually ride it. If your excess is old and obsolete, you're going to take a bigger margin hit, and it may take you longer to get rid of it. These causers may also affect too little inventory. And when I'm losing sales due to not having the goods that are in demand at that moment, we're losing revenue. If we're lucky enough to hold on to the sale, then I have back order expenses added to my bottom line. If I don't capture a back order, or if they cancel the back order, or if I'm a storefront where back orders aren't in play, then I'm creating a poor customer experience where they're frustrated with us for not having the goods that we're advertising to them, and it opens the door to a competitive insertion there. Which of these are concerning you today? Which of these are real in your environment? Optimizing your inventory, having systems, having a plan, having awareness that all of these things will occur at various times in your business is one of your main keys. We have to be able to track and monitor and have fine exception reporting to do analysis on our poor fill rates, our heavy back orders, our excess, obsolete inventory, all those things. We need to have a quick view. We need to have people that are keenly aware of these varying conditions and are looking for them at all times. Always reevaluate your forecasting methodologies. Every company has a different view on how they plan the future. They have a different view on how they want to build a forecast for a future season, future event, future marketing initiative, or for their specific wholesale business, or for whichever channel they're planning. They have a feel, a methodology. Revisit those often. Look at them with a critical eye. Do analysis on the quality of your forecasts as a post-mortem end of marketing event reflection. Always reevaluate your purchasing methodologies. I mentioned earlier, do I buy 120% of my plan, or do I buy 120% of my plan only on my top 10 items? Or do I buy more even? For new items in a new test category, how much of my plan do I buy for those? And of course, there's a lot of variables, lead times, MOQs, all that comes into play. We encourage a very, very critical eye on your purchasing methodologies. What are other dynamics in the marketplace that may affect inventory management and inventory performance? A lot of our customers are embarking on a multi-location, multi-buckets of inventory environment. We've all seen the East Coast, West Coast distribution centers, and there's a lot of tools and concepts to manage those reasonably well. They're generally in place to save you outbound freight on your different customer locations and to serve them more quickly. But as the market evolves, fulfillment by Amazon, wholesale co-op clubs, allocating virtual inventory to sales channels so that they are assured of having their share of the inventory availability, are all things we're seeing that affect the efficiency and quality and difficulty in managing inventory. With multiple locations, we create the environment where we may have excess, we may have shortage, but we own the goods, and the excess and the shortage are simply in the wrong location at that time. Strong tools to manage that is key. Sales channels continue to expand. All of us, all of you want to keep your brand, your presence at the forefront of the customer's conscious with every imaginable tool. We want them to know we're available on their mobile device. We want them to see and hear us when they're surfing the web. We want them to see our existence on TV ads, billboards, storefronts. Every touch, every possible touch to create brand awareness and sales are expanding all the time. Fulfillment by Amazon, and then of course you've got the larger sites that wide open for all sales channels, create yet another opportunity to challenge inventory planners and merchants with the assortment I present. How do I forecast and plan for that assortment? And therefore, how and when am I buying inventory to support these varying sales channels? I'm going to turn the presentation over to Todd Lindeman now, who is going to give you a rundown on Softvision Suite.
Thanks, Jeff. Softvision Suite's been in the business for a long time. We've spent an enormous amount of time working with a number of different types of retailers in all different spaces, many that are providing inventory needs across different channels. And as a result, we've got a few of our customers displayed on this slide, and some information about us in terms of the number of stores that our products are being used in. The number of SKUs, over 15 million SKUs are currently being planned in our products today, and the inventory values across those. We're also solving inventory problems with our Softvision Suite. So we look across our customers when they come into us and looking for help, and we look across their needs, their key areas of the business. So whether it's looking at things like gross margin, or looking at the inventory staff or the planning staff, whether it's looking at their sales results, one of the things we do is we add automation. And one of those things that we're bringing people out of is we're bringing them out of Excel and into automation. We also, as a result, help them reduce expenses. And most importantly, and your most valuable asset, is we help you reduce that inventory and improve your turnover. So as a result of that, we track your performance through our product from beginning to end. So we really start right with you at the start of planning your business, and we finish with allocation and the replenishment of that business. And in between, along the way, we have the tools to help you complete your assortments, forecast your results, issue your purchase orders, and get to the finish line. So we cover you from the beginning and to the end. This is a sample of one of our tools. This is one of our planning tools that we offer to you, and this shows you the flexibility that we do have within the tool that allows you to plan across the business at any level of your hierarchy and be able to forecast and plan across many different metrics. We have a number of success stories over the years with our customer base, and we start here with some important quotes that we have from our customers. We really cover these from how we improve staff efficiency, to the ROI, to the inventory management, all success stories. And if you look at our website, you'll see that we go even further with some success stories there, where you can go and look at our individual customers and you can see how they've had that success. And we can help you with getting to that website too. We'll follow up with that information after this webinar. ROI. So all of the investment, all of the time, all of the effort, all of the energy, where does it get me at the end of the day? What it gets you is more money. And that's the key of what we bring to the table, is giving you better in stocks, better gross margins, less back orders, lowering your inventory carrying costs, and improving your cash flow. And this works in this example over a 5-year period. You see a steady increase just by using our product. And now the implementation. So to bring our product into your company, we've had a success story by bringing this into. Lost the slide, Jeff. Thank you. So we bring our product into your business to help you be successful. And it starts with interfaces, which work with any type of an ERP solution, and then continues with consulting, moves on to cloud deployment, and lastly, into user training. We really get you from the start of the project to the end of the project to be successful. And now Clay's going to talk a little bit more as we wrap things up.
Excuse me there, I was on mute. So thank you, Todd. We have a few questions that have already come through, so I'll cover those. It looks like we've got about 5 that aren't redundant. So first, I think I'll start with the one on users that kind of relates to that last slide. The question is, how much time do your users regularly spend within the portal to optimize inventory management? Is this a daily use kind of tool? And beyond that, is this for one user to manage or multiple users? Talk more about that.
Todd, I'll take that one if I may. This tool set, Clay, is a suite of modules that crosses and spans predominantly the merchandising, product management areas, and the inventory planning, purchasing areas. Those individuals that are in this tool live in this tool. It is what they do use daily. It is their predominant resource to manage their business and to answer their business questions and to react to their business.
Okay. Yeah, that makes good sense. And that actually tees up nicely for another one of the questions we have here, which is there it is. What does Softvision Suite integrate with to make workflows more manageable? Does it integrate with point of sale providers, Amazon, things like that?
Todd touched on that a little bit in the implementation deck. We predominantly interface with the order management system and the ERP. They may be the same system, or we'll interface with the data warehouse. We are looking for item information from your enterprise. We are looking for inventory position from your enterprise, and we're looking for your customer demand records, your sales.
Okay.
And with all of those, we manage those interfaces and give that data, serve that data to the users to use the tool.
Great. And here's another one that I think we should cover. The problem with I'll just read it aloud. The problem with too much or too little inventory makes sense to me. Does Softvision Suite get us optimized at a store by store level? We have hundreds of stores nationally, so I'm curious how the tool automates our planning by store. Any further information or insight you can provide us as a company that doesn't use inventory management systems, sophisticated ones at least today?
Sure. We have modules that are designed for multi-channel. We have modules designed specifically for retail. We have modules that facilitate allocation. So moving goods to those stores in a very pre-planned, strategic manner to assure they have the goods that are in demand at their location, all are in scope of the suite of products, Clay.
Okay. That's a good answer there. And then the last question we should cover here, I think it's a nice wrap-up question, actually, so thank you for that, is What's the onboarding period for something like Softvision Suite? The question says, I'm curious how a company gets shifted into using inventory management efficiently.
And I'm going to refer to Todd's implementation slide again. And while I may be the sales manager, prior to that, for 10 years, I did these implementations. And it's really it's a project, Clay. You've got to, we kick the project off by outlining the roles and responsibilities of each party. Those roles and responsibilities are technical and business related. Then we agree on a project plan, we agree on a timeline, and we march forward. There's an IT period, and then there's a heavy user period, and it may be iterative a couple times. Then we launch and go live. It can be a very efficient process.
Okay, so appreciate those answers there, Jeff, and Todd. Thank you for being a part of this as well. Those are the only questions that we have. So I encourage everybody to reach out to us. The contact information is here on this slide, to Jeff Dillon or to Todd, to ask any further questions you might have. We will also distribute the recording of this. And again, feel free to get in touch with us anytime. We hope to talk to you in the future. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.